Hi everybody. Yeah, I got something important for you today. This is my second time doing this video because I just did it a minute ago, and when I uploaded it, it was like 4 or 5 minutes shorter. So I don't know what that's all about. So it cut out like the end bit. But anyway, here goes again. Right, the newspaper headlines in the United Kingdom today. Newspaper headlines. Now, I was getting a coffee in the shop today, and I often look at the newspaper section just to kind of have cast my eyes over the headlines and see if anything grabs my attention. Well, it did. Okay, now there is blooming heck, my son has wandered off with the newspapers. My goodness. Okay, right, I bought the Independent and I bought the Daily Express. Alright, big newspapers. Now, the front page news was smog alert. Alright, it was like smog alert. In fact, no, the Daily Express, it said killer smog alert. Okay, for Easter. And basically, right, I've read the articles, and it's all about how there is pollution and smog in the air. There's all this advice on be careful, don't do any strenuous outdoor activity if you are prone to asthma, and it's like, you know, this whole big thing on all the smog. Okay, now the cause of the smog, according to the mainstream news, is that it is heavy traffic over the Easter period. Alright, heavy road traffic, okay, and also hot weather. Now, I don't believe this. I do not believe this, and I know why we have this smog. Alright, and I'm going to tell you that in just a second, but I'll tell you how I know. Now, my wife will tell you, I was saying to her weeks ago, right, I was saying to her, hey, look at the smog. I was pointing to the horizon. I said, look at the smog on the horizon. Look at the smog hanging over those mountains there. You know, look at the smog, look at the smog, look at the smog. I've been seeing smog here for weeks. Now, we don't really get smog, not in Northern Ireland. Okay, now here's another thing. Newspapers were issuing this alert for England and Wales. Well, I live in Northern Ireland, and we've got smog here too. And we've had it for some time. Now, the newspapers have just released this today, okay, but this has been going on for weeks. Now, it's not, perhaps in London, it's exceptionally hot right now. Usually London is, compared to the rest of the UK. It is not especially hot in Northern Ireland. We're getting some nice weather, some hot weather. It's been nice, but it's not like way over the top. We've had hotter weather. Alright, and also we often get heavy traffic. I mean, Easter is every year, is it not? Okay, now we do not get smog like this over the Easter period. Okay, so it's not that. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. Okay, now I know what it is. What's been happening is, over the past few weeks, we've been getting inundated with chemtrails. Okay? Now, it used to be that you would see chemtrails occasionally in the skies. Now that's changed. You see, the past month, chemtrails are every single day. Every single day. Alright? They're going on all the time, constantly. And how do I know this? Well, because I know how to tell the difference between a chemtrail and a contrail. And there are those of you who are watching this that maybe have never heard of a chemtrail. And you're like, oh, well, what's that? You know, well, I'm going to explain, just briefly. Now, aeroplanes in the sky, they emit trails, some of them. Okay? There's contrails, C-O-N, contrails, and then there's chemtrails. Now, the difference is this. A contrail is an innocent trail that an aeroplane emits when it's flying from A to B, and it's nothing more than just a bit of water vapour. Okay, it leaves a little trail, and it dissipates within about 17 seconds or so. Now, you may have noticed that there's planes that go through the sky and they emit these long trails that go right across the sky, and they don't disappear, they're not going nowhere, they're there for hours. And what happens is they then begin to expand and create these artificial clouds. And oftentimes you see several planes doing this, and sometimes they crisscross, and eventually, you know, you get enough of them up there in the sky, and then the sky becomes white, not from cloud, but just white. Okay, and that's what's been happening a lot just lately. Now, there are people that will say, but you know, sometimes contrails can be like that, because, you know, you got atmospheric pressure, you got temperature, you got various factors, and sometimes these factors maybe cause the, you know, humidity, you know, all these different factors may cause contrails to linger longer sometimes, other than, you know, and other times not. Well, this isn't true, and I'll tell you why. I'm a real sky watcher. I be watching the sky all the time, and think very carefully about all these things. Now, my observation is this. Now, I have seen a real chemtraily day, right? I've seen the chemtrails going on in the sky, and on the same day, at the same time, the same minute, right? I'll see a plane doing a chemtrail, and at the same time, just kind of a few meters in the sky the other way, I'll see a contrail going across the sky. Now, you got all these planes in the sky at the same time, all these conditions and factors that will have an effect upon the trails. It will have the same effect upon the trails, would it not? And I've seen chemtrails and contrails at the same time. You see that a lot, actually. It's a real giveaway. You know, so you got the chemtrail, and then you got a plane right next to it, and it's just going along. It's obviously commuting from A to B, and it's just a little trail, and it disappears. Alright, so there's a very distinct difference between the chemtrail and the contrail. So we've been getting a lot of chemtrails. These chemtrails, I've noticed progressively over the past month, the haziness, the smog, has been increasing, because they've just been blasting this stuff into the skies, like, all the time. I don't know. I'm battling. I haven't figured out yet why they're chemtrailing the skies. There could be various reasons why it's happening. There could be some very sinister reasons. A lot of conspiracy theorists got some very sinister reasons why they're chemtrailing the sky. Now, chemtrailing is real. It's not secret. It's called geoengineering, according to, like, official explanations. Maybe they're being truly helpful to mankind. Maybe they're geoengineering. I doubt it. But anyway, this is all for another video. But this video, I just wanted to bring to your attention the mainstream news, the UK newspapers, giving a big alert about the smog and the pollution in the air, and no mention of chemtrails whatsoever. But I'm telling you that it is due to the chemtrails. Now, I can only speak for Northern Ireland, where I live. This is where I live. I see it. I can tell you what I see, okay, with my eyes, what I witnessed. You know, not that I've read or heard about, but what I see, you know, on my own doorstep. So that's what it is. Okay. So you can't really do anything about it. You can't control what you breathe through your nostrils. But I'll tell you this, it's time to wake up, people. You need to be awake and aware. It does pay that. Now, some people say, well, what's the point in being awake and aware if you can't have any control of the situation? It does pay to be awake and aware, believe me. It does. It does. It's very liberating to be aware of what's going on. And there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Do some research, find out what's going on, because I tell you what, there's more. You see what you see in the news? There's far more to it than meets the eye. There is far more to it than meets the eye. Okay, that's all from me today.